In the time of Tafawa Balewa and Azikwe, is it Tafawa Balewa and Azikwe? Yeah, during that period in Nigeria history, around 1960 to 63, I think. Yeah, that's right. So Nigeria was had the parliamentary system of government during that period. Yeah, so a lot of things changes afterward, the coup and all sort of things that change, and which means that parliamentary system of government was gone. So the question is, should Nigeria adopt parliamentary system of government? For me, I think it's really a good thing. So, and I'm going to talk about some of the advantages and disadvantages. So, parliamentary system of government is, yeah, there are a lot of countries that use it, and Britain is one of the countries that use parliamentary system of government. And of course, recently the UK conducted their election, and yes, as somebody that been living in the UK for a lot of years, a number of years that I've been living here, I've been part of election in terms of like voting, and have been part of election as well in terms of like conducting it. So like part of the people who were at the polling station to kind of like a polling clerk or inspector or whatever the title they are called, to conduct the election. And not just that as well. Actually, I was even been involved as well in terms of counting as well. So yeah. So for me, I think the parliamentary system of government, I think, is actually really better than the system of government that Nigeria have currently. I mean, feel free to drop a comment and disagree with me. So one of the benefits is that Nigeria definitely will save a lot of money because the way election is, whereby you have one election where you're choosing the president, maybe do everything in the same day, but the bottom line is that you're doing in terms of like maybe paperwork as well and all of those, where you do election on that day, which is for the president and also for the House of Parliament, whatever, lower and upper house. So, and what you get to have is that you have to spend a lot of money. A lot of money will be spent in that process of all those paperwork and a lot of things that they do to be able to make that to conduct the election. So yeah, money definitely will be saved in that area. And also not just the election as well, the government, that's sort of like running the government. Yeah, a lot of money definitely will be saved as well running the government, where you have this president. I tell you what, something really very important to that worth noting as well is that when they finish election, you get this situation whereby you are now people are now lobbying. They want to be minister and all of that. So but parliamentary system of government, especially UK for example, you already have, and by the way, it's not only UK that practice parliamentary. There are other countries like, well, maybe some of this country who have influence from Britain in terms through colonization or whatever, or Britain extending their empire. So you have places like Canada, Australia, I think Malaysia, I think even Israel, whether Israel also. So there are a lot of those countries who practice parliamentary. So the process of when you have one government in the opposition party, they already have like their shadow minister. So you have minister for foreign affairs, for example. You already have a foreign secretary, whatever they're called. You have shadow of it. So you have the opposition party. They already have equivalent of it, even though they are not the one running the affairs, but they have, they already there existing. You have Minister of Health, uh, and then you have the shadow of it. So, which we end up to be that once the new government comes in after election, straight away they begin to work. There's no this like, oh, somebody trying to lobby. Oh, very good example. When Buhari got there, it took him like 6 months or something like that before he was able to appoint his minister. And then what would have happened is that there are like a lot of lobbying happening behind the scene, and almost like maybe doesn't even really know what he's doing, or more like you're coming to government, are you not prepared or something like that. So, but parliamentary system of government, in most cases, they already have that sort of like a situation whereby, you know, the shadow are already there. They just come into power and they get to work. So Britain, again, as an example, like this person that labor person that just gone in straight away, it start literally start working day one. In fact, the same day that election was result was announced, the minister already they start working this, they start having cabinet meeting us. Yeah, so from that point of view, that the parliamentary is really kind of like a better effective way of running. So if Nigeria should adopt that, I think it's really going to be a good thing. And of course there are a lot of ways that you can look at it, even like of also having like governor, like, and then the governor as well, they just everybody trying to pull their manzu and intimidating people and all of that, intimidating one another and all of that. And I always just so like I think like when I was working here in the UK in the local government, I don't work in the local government any longer. But when I was working in the local government, I used to like thinking like, well, why do we not use this sort of thing in Nigeria? I mean, America do have governors too, but I think for Nigeria situation, I think this sort of British system possibly work better. Like state government, county in the UK is almost equivalent to state in Nigeria. So and county here in the UK, there's nothing like governor. The head of the county, almost like maybe equivalent of governor in Nigeria. Of course, governor in Nigeria are more powerful and all of that. But head of the county council in the UK, they're just appointed. They are like technocrats. Like they are appointed based on their managerial qualification and all of that. That's how they were appointed. It's almost like interview, and then they're appointed and they're there. They have the time that they're going to use, and then whether they're going to continue. So it's not like this kind of government going about with rain and noise everywhere and all of that. There isn't, yeah. So and all those sort of like the money that they have to use to run all these government. And I should not forget to mention the parliamentary, whereby the government minister, they are members of parliament. I hope that makes sense. So they are not bringing, because in this present Nigeria system, so you have the president elected, and then you have him to go and then look for what do you call it, to go and then appoint separate minister, people, randomly, well, not randomly, but based on the criteria that he thinks are the right ones, and then he brings them, and then they are then the minister. But in the parliamentary, the minister are already members of parliament. So they are already members. It's from the parliament. That is where. So the parliament is literally the one running the government. The parliament is the prime minister himself or herself is a member of the parliament. So that really reduced the cost significantly. you know so yeah, so that that's another area to look at it. Somebody leaving a comment. Are you from? I can't say that comment. I think that comment is not complete. Are you saying that you am I from Nigeria? If that's the question you're asking, yes, I am a Nigerian. Um, so and yeah, so there are a lot of ways that Nigeria will benefit from significantly from a parliamentary system of government, and also because the prime minister or whatever head of government in terms of parliamentary system is the leader of the party. So, which I mean, in a way, you could argue that in other party, what Nigeria do currently, the president is the leader of technically the leader of his party as well. But in sort of like a parliamentary, so he's already member of the parliament, and then he's leader of his party, and then he can easily be removed if he's not performing like within his party. They can just decide like, so literally what I'm saying is that the power is not as massive as you have in the present style of government that Nigeria do have. So but generally it's definitely Nigeria will save a lot of money, and it will benefit Nigeria with the parliamentary system of government is definitely going to benefit Nigeria a lot in terms of like cost. So but the way Nigeria is currently, yeah, it's definitely going to get to a time when something has to change in terms of like the restructuring and sort of whatever other ways that they want to look at it. So on the long time, definitely there will be changes at some point. What sort of change is going to be, I don't really know, or maybe nobody really knows. But over time, yeah. So there is potential for changes that is definitely going to happen. So anyway, whatever your thought is about this, leave a comment in the comment box below. In terms of should Nigeria adopt parliamentary system of government, which Nigeria has done before between 60 and 1960 and 1963. So should Nigeria go back to that? Should that be an option for Nigeria? Leave a comment and share your thought. And thanks for watching, and God bless.